Thank you so much, Fazilla, for being here. Once again, for round two. Really do appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be here, sit down and chat. It's really a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
It's my pleasure too, man. Like, yeah, it's exciting, getting to talk about myself.
Carol, come on, Carol.
No, I'm joking. No, I'm really excited to be here. Like, I really love the podcast, the whole YouTube situation. I really enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
I really hope that I do impact anybody that I may come through or via this podcast,
Hopefully, there's a couple aspiring chefs. I know you don't like me calling you a chef. You don't like to be seen as a chef. But hopefully some aspiring businesswomen, entrepreneurs out there watching the podcast who can be inspired by your story.
Yes. I'll call myself chef once I've earned the title. I feel like it's not an easy title to carry because there's a lot associated with it. So I'll call myself chef when I earn the title, but for now it's home cook Faz.
It's interesting because you deliver your work the way chefs would deliver the work. You know what I mean? Like, can I call you chef at least? Can I address you?
Okay, it's fine.
As Chef Carol.
Call me chef. That's absolutely okay. But I personally wouldn't want to call myself chef. Like I said, for reasons that I don't want to carry that title. It's so heavy. Like, it's like me walking around because I plastered a little plaster on somebody and be like, Dr. Faz. Yeah.
It's not the same thing. I think I can relate to you a lot because I've had people come to me and they'll be like, do you take photos? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, professionally. And then I'm like, ish, that's a huge title to hold, a professional photographer. I don't see myself.
Yeah, it's a very, very big title.
Yeah. And I think in a lot of ways, I think I didn't realize, or a lot of people don't realize how certain titles will even subconsciously determine how you act or react to certain situations. So I guess in any case, being called a chef, I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Exactly. No, that's very true.
Yeah.
You don't. You make it. I get you, man. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah. But okay, tell us how you've been. For those who don't know, I don't think anybody knows. But I had you on the show sometime last year, and we weren't able to upload that for different reasons. And this is a rerun of that. But I think I just genuinely want to find out how you're doing, and also to just introduce yourself and let people know who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay. So how have I been doing? Up and down, basically. Let's say I've just been unsettled. Okay. I haven't found my groove yet because I just started school and I'm also doing the blogging. I'm still trying to fit in, I'm still trying to learn certain things. I'm still trying to navigate my way through life.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm a bit up and down. But I'm good. I'm living, I'm breathing, thank God. I'm well. And as a small little introduction, hi guys, my name is Fazilla Maseko, aka The Sizzle, aka Chef Sizzle.
Gang.
They call me, all of those names.
Let's go.
Get all of those names. But I am a small business owner. I am a food blogger and food content creator. I enjoy creating food content, and that's the content that allows me to express myself in the best way possible. I do love the sweeter side of things, hence why I gravitate more to the sweeter side. But when I'm blogging, I'll throw in a little savory recipe here and there. I create recipes. I create easy to make recipes. I was about to start a student blog series, then my life went up and down. But definitely, I'm still going to work towards creating more student-based content because it's more relatable to me at this point because the budgets are not aligning.
It's not being an
Caviar.
independent creative is hard. Starting from the bottom
Exactly.
is hard, right?
That's very true.
Yeah.
That is very true. You can't be eating, salmon out here. Even though I do live on an island, those things also tend to be expensive. So I'm still trying to, be able to bring content that's very closer to home and closer to my audience, which is the younger audience.
Yeah. And you actually mentioned a lot of things there. And I'm going to touch on a little bit of what I do remember or what stood out the most. And the first thing was you're now living on an island. So when I did speak to you the first time you were in Zim, and you were pushing the Sizzle full throttle. You were doing this thing, delivering food, making food. And we also mentioned in that you were doing this now, but looking forward to going to university, which you are there now. And you mentioned a little bit about it. How has been the move from Zim to Mauritius, I presume is where you are. And how are you finding the first couple months of uni?
Okay, so being on an island, absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. It's a place I never get used to the beauty. I never get used to the beauty on this island. It's stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can't stop saying stunning because it's really beautiful. But overall, like the general environment, I really like Mauritius for the pure fact that, it's safe. It's also really serene. Like there's not much happening here. It's very rare for you to hear of crime. It's very rare for you to hear of, accidents, big accidents happening. They do happen here and there. Crime does happen here and there because we're human, things like that happen. But it's not as bad as, how statistics in South Africa would state that at least 9 women are killed each week. So it's not as bad as that. So I'm genuinely loving that environment. Also because, the environment will shape how your uni life goes. So that generally has an effect on my uni life. Currently, I am back on online school because we had cases come up. So, they put us on lockdown. So I haven't really experienced campus life, which really makes me sad. But it's something that, hopefully in the next year, I can do my second year on campus. And uni in general, workload in general, it's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say that I don't have nights where I cry. I'm not going to say that I'm the strongest girl alive and I do everything that's supposed to be done at the right time. I'm not going to say that because it does take a lot to adjust to the shift. You're used to being at your mother's house, If you open the fridge, literally, there's food. If you open the pantry, there's something to eat. If you literally want to sleep, exactly. Now you have to be conscious about everything. Now you have to be conscious about even how much tissue you use. And I was like, it was so ridiculous to me, the fact that I had to buy my own tissue because I was used to tissue just being there. You know what I mean? So it's so funny. The shift is very, it's real. I don't want to lie to you. The shift is very real, but we adjust every day. There's certain things that, you learn to shift your lifestyle. Because when you're with your parents, you're balling. You get the money that you get and you're balling.
Easy.
It's easy. Life is easy. There's a car. There's all of that. But now when you're here, before you go out, you have to sit down and be like, do I have money for transport?
Do I have enough money?
Do I have
Will this last me the week?
Will this last me the week? Exactly. And is my fridge going to be full? Because one thing I know for a fact is I can have $0, but as long as my fridge has food, I'm absolutely okay. So the uni life right now, I'm taking it day by day, slow adjustments each and every day, trying to find my groove, trying to find my drive as well. Because with online school, you tend to lose your drive because you aren't physically experiencing your degree from your chair at home. So it's kind of a bit hectic in that sense that I haven't had time to enjoy my degree because I haven't even touched like practicals and all of that. Oh, by the way, I'm studying bioscience, so I haven't had like. Sheesh. That's what everyone thinks, but I'm crying, guys. Like, it's not easy. It's really not easy. But yeah, I haven't had the time to go into the lab and figure out like that's my passion. I love working with the different chemicals. I love doing experiments. I'm an experimental person. So that's I haven't experienced the full depth of my degree. And that's why, uni life right now is come see, come sa, somehow, somewhere, it's working. It's okay.
It's working.
Adjusting.
You mentioned something very crucial, and you're like, God is just kind of keeping us through this thing, which is very important and very true as well.
True.
It's not easy.
It's really
doing anything, running a business, going to school, living life through this very interesting period that we're living through right now. I think generally just life was hard, right? And then you had to have a pandemic, which made things a tad little bit more interesting and a little bit more complicated. But we have to adjust. And as humans, it's what we do. We do it best. It's adjusting. It's shifting. We've seen people relocate and go to different countries where they don't even speak the language and they survive. So I think we're kind of built to adapt. We're built to change to suit the environment we're in as well. And I think for you, there's a lot that has changed in respect to the creative side of your life. When it comes to the sizzle, it's something I think I would look at, for example, music or art or photography. It's something I can take to the next country and just do it. With the sizzle, it's building a customer base of people and then kind of leaving them in Zim and then, trying to either build the same thing in Mauritius or run it from Mauritius, run the business from Mauritius, the business that is in Zim, of course. And how have you been able then to adjust to that change? Or have you actually just said, I'm going to put a pause on the creative side of things and focus on school?
Okay, so for now, I do want to create more content on the page, just give the blogging a bit more experience. I was very sad to have left the business, to be quite honest with you, because the clientele that I built, the families that I had created, like with my suppliers, with my customers, with the influencers that we've also worked with, it was quite difficult for me to have to leave that behind because I had grown with it. I had grown such attachment to my business because it was my baby.
We are attached to your business still. Don't worry. We'll wait for you to come back.
You see, it was my firstborn. So, it's very hard seeing your firstborn grow or just leaving or dumping your firstborn. So yeah, it was a difficult shift for me. I won't lie to you. But right now, I think when I go back home, I'm definitely putting plans in place for at least the Sizzle to operate remotely. It's very difficult entrusting somebody with your recipes and not, you see what I mean? With everything, because that you delivered your best. I know I always was, making the food. I was quality checking. Some people wouldn't even care to do that. Quality checking if everything's right, if the order's okay. I was delivering with a smile on my face, even though I was tired with swollen feet. I had to do it. You know what I mean? I had swollen feet. I had to get behind that car and go and deliver those orders. So it's really hard to find somebody that has the same drive or find a team of people that have the same drive and the same vision that you have. Because you want to see yourself grow, but not everybody wants to see you grow. They just want to be paid. You know what I mean? They want to be paid, but they don't want to actually they don't want the business to grow. They just want to be safe. So you tend to see that the aims behind people and what you want to put across for your business will not align. So that's the reason why it has been hard for me to, leave somebody behind or leave a team behind that doesn't understand how much it means to me to create a good product out there. So for me, quality is everything, even packaging, even all of that. Quality is everything. And to find somebody that understands that, it will be really difficult. So as for now, I think when I go back home, I'll definitely put some consideration into at least entrusting a person that I know wouldn't have a malicious intent. Because these are recipes, and recipes are it's very easy to get them correct once you know them. So you wouldn't want a point in time where, let's say, for example, you want to now branch out or maybe move to being a cafe or something. And then somebody's using the exact same recipes that you have. So you need to have somebody that knows that, these are her recipes and I'm not going to try and copy them, in case they want to open their own, because they may be inspired whilst they're working for you. And then, open up their own business. So it's very hard. You see, that's why companies like Krispy Kreme, they have prepackaged recipes. Basically, the flour, the yeast, and the sugars all mixed through. All they have to do is add the liquid to the dry ingredients, and they're ready to go. Because they know that if they let their recipe out there, it's going to be difficult for them to succeed. You see what I mean? So yeah, that's one thing that has basically been on my mind when it comes to leaving the business running. But definitely there are motions in place for me to at least have something remotely running in Zimbabwe. I'm still yet to think about it like a lot and also consider certain people in order for me to carry my business. But I do definitely, as soon as I'm done with this degree, I am back like I never left, with full force, full fire. Full force, full fire, I tell you. Because I loved doing it. I genuinely loved doing it. So it's something that really, it motivated me. You'd find that I'll be tired to wake up, but it's just the thought that, the customers that I have waiting for an order, or the customers that, I've come across, they're waiting for that order so eagerly. So why am I sitting in my bed and thinking of not doing it when other people are waiting, So yeah, those are the things that motivated me as well, just to get up and, do what needs to be done. So yeah.
I can definitely relate to you and talking about how it's not easy to hand over something, the responsibility of this thing that you've spent so much time and effort in maturing, and just say, just look after this for me. It's not an easy thing, because like you're saying, people who are coming to the Sizzle ZW and ordering food know the smile that you show each time you deliver, know the quality of service that you produce, the level of communication that you have. So leaving it to someone else could actually shock people a little bit.
What's going on with the quality?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand what you mean in all aspects. And of course, there's a lot of communicating that needs to be done. Like you say, being aligned, which is the owner of the business and the people working for the business need to be aligned.
And have
they also need to have a vision of growth
and
to want to see the business prosper. And it's
That's
such
true.
a tedious process,
That's
having
true.
to go through a lot of people and finding out
people that
who you want
actually are interested and not just wanting
exactly
to pay,
exactly. But then you realize that that's business though. Like, you're going to have to grow at some point. And you're going to have to learn how to find those people at some point. And I think you already mentioned a long time ago that you had or have an entrepreneurial spirit, and you love this concept of, and I can see it from the way you speak, and I can see it from the way you conduct your business as well. I fell in love with the concept of your business, and I haven't even tasted your food. Like, just to put that out there, I've never tasted your food. I'm looking forward to tasting it. But it's the way you presented your business and the way you ran it that attracted me so much. I was like, this is absolutely insane. So I do think you've got a natural creative talent for running a business. You genuinely do. And being able to see you at this point in your journey, thinking about things like this already, like, I want people who see and have the vision that I do. I can't just possibly leave my business to be run by anyone else. That's huge stuff. Those are things that CEOs and stuff think about. So it's like you're just naturally drawn and built for this, which is super encouraging to see. Also hearing that you want to be back at it full throttle. It's fun for us to hear that because we miss it. We want you back. We definitely want you back, and we definitely want to see the Sizzle grow.
That's true.
And mature into something that we couldn't even possibly imagine. But I think speaking about that, how does it then tie in with what you study? Just tell us a little bit about the reason why you chose to study, why you study, and how the Sizzle kind of fits into your life story. Was it by accident that you started the Sizzle, or it's been a passion of yours for a long time?
Okay. Let me address, I think, in segments. You said how it aligns with what I'm studying. So I'm doing bioscience with the hope to do a master's in food and nutrition, or nutritional science, basically. So food science and technology, that same field. So it's that field that deals with food and how it can be made better. So like you're looking at your examples of GMOs, you're looking at, food, better foods. I don't know if you know of the term better foods, which is like foods enriched with something. So food scientists are basically responsible for, bringing out a product that's better for better living, basically. So I would love to do food science. That's where I'm headed to. So this is kind of like a pathway degree. It's not like I want to do bioscience all in all, because it allows me to, look at all aspects of biology and how they tie into me wanting to do food science. So you find that in my degree, I've got modules like biotechnology, I've got modules like biochemistry, which are things that I definitely need when I now want to do my, nutritional science degree. Well, master's. So that's how that ties, is that I want to be able to be responsible for my product from the raw product to the finished product, if that makes sense. So I would love for my finished product to be a pure reflection of the work that has been put before. So I would really love it if I have farms, if I have dairy plants, if I have all of that, so that I know that the product, if you're going to Fazilla's cafe or if you're going to Fazilla's restaurant, that vegetable, that rape that is you're eating there is a rape that came from her farm. You know what I mean?
know exactly the process that went
like
through
exactly what went through. So that's basically where I'm coming from. With the dairy, if you're going to Fazilla's ice cream joint, that the ice cream, the cows were fed with the purest of ingredients to produce the best of milk. So I want to be able to see my products. It's a very big dream, but we'll keep dreaming. But I want to be able to see my product from raw product to finished product and produce the best quality that I can. Because I'm a pure believer in quality. Quality just changes your life. Like I said, I really love to have what I present as an experience. Not just a once-off thing where you say that, okay, I went to the Sizzle and I ate maybe, let's say I ate a donut and it was just you know what I mean? I want it to be like the donut that I had that was impeccable. So you see, that's how I'm planning on tying my degree and my business. And also you said the startup. How did I start up? Funny enough, lockdown inspiration. Lockdown really does a lot to you. Like it really did a lot to me last year. Like the energy and fire I had last year was crazy. Because I started the blog. I mentioned it to my mom. And I was like, Mom, I just want to start food blogging. And she's just like, okay, do it. I was like, okay, fine. But at that point in time, I didn't have the resources I would have wanted to. Like I said, I'm very big on quality. So it really put me down a lot that I didn't have the resources that I wanted to have in order for me to produce the best of quality. Because obviously you look at pages and you're like, okay, damn, I want to be like that person.
Yeah.
But obviously
and then you look at what you have
and you're like, it's not making sense.
Oh,
it's not calculating.
I can relate to that.
Adding up, you see. So there was that aspect of it, and but I was just like, you know what? Let me put one step in the pool and see how it feels. That first step in the pool, it's cold. The pool's cold, so definitely you have to take some more time to warm up to the idea. And so basically, I did that. I started by posting over pizza recipe on my story. And I found that I had gotten more views on my story. I had about 400 views for my story that day. And coming from somebody that's got about 2,000 followers, that's quite big. It's actually quite wild, because I was like, 400, that means 20% of people actually watched my story. And so I was like, no, man, people actually want to see food content. So that day I made pizza. I was like, because in my head, I'm like, who doesn't know how to make pizza? Like, what's going on? Like, who doesn't know how to make pizza? But most people started to inquire about it. They said, okay, fine. How do you do this? How do you do that? That's when I realized that, I need to make a separate page for that aspect of my life, because I've always enjoyed cooking. I did food and nutrition. I've My grandpa was a chef, so you could say it was in the bloodline. So
it's in the blood.
It's in the blood. So you could really say that it's always been in the bloodline. So yeah, so that's basically what inspired me to start up the page, and I started up with blogging. 2-3 months down the line with the blogging stuff, I got a job. I was working at a beauty school. I was a secretary. And then I realized that, no, man, I'm getting X amount of money, and X amount of money can help me grow what I already have, you know. So I said, okay, fine, X amount of money is going to come in at the end of, I think it was July. X amount of money is going to come in at the end of July. 50% is going to be used to start off that business. Actually, let me not even say X amount of money. Let me tell you how much it was, basically. So basically,
the numbers.
Exactly. I was getting around about 150 US dollars. So I used $75 US to start up the business, you see. So
crazy.
You know, it was crazy. It was actually quite crazy because, you know, some people need like ridiculous amounts. And I just said, you know, let me put $75 up ahead, you know. It could come out, money could come out about it. Because, you know, business is all about taking a risk, and you have to be willing to actually take that risk. So you see, it's a very slippery slope. So I put that $75 in, and I realized, okay, fine, I could make my orders during the weekend and then work during the week, just so I can have that balance, and I can always have that extra money that I can also rely on. I started the idea, I did the promo food, I took the pictures, I posted on Twitter. Next minute, it blew up. It blew all the way up. I think it was about 250 retweets with about 700 likes. People kept on, I want to taste this. I want to taste this. Within the first weekend, I was fully booked for the first weekend. I posted on a Sunday the weekend before. I was fully booked by at least Monday night.
Because I can't take any more orders.
I can't take any more because it's just me alone. And to make it worse, I started off with a promo because I wanted to see how the market would react to how I am going to bring forth my product. So I started off with that, and it blew up. And that's how the business came to be. And then after that experience, I won't lie to you, the first orders, it was a bit rocky because I was still trying to find my way, find my feet, find what I am destined to do, basically in terms of the business. So it was a bit rocky in the sense that orders took a bit more time. But as time went by, I actually got more used to it. And, you know, I knew that, okay, fine, if I'm making 12 donuts, I need 4 hours. If I'm making 48 chicken wings, I need just 2 hours. You know, I now ended up knowing how much time I would need for certain things. So yeah, that's how the business came to be. Twitter really came through for the girl, and then Instagram also started. You know, Twitter can be a very negative platform, but also a very positive platform. And you need
But this time around,
it was a positive, you know. And as a business person, you need to be able to use all the tools that you have because it's free, guys. It's really free. Twitter's free. Instagram is free. TikTok, my word, TikTok is free. TikTok is the best way to grow your business, especially if you want to, you know, use visuals to support or give evidence to what you make. So yeah, all these resources were free. I just used what I had. I used the Wi-Fi that my father was providing, and we made it work. You see.
Yeah, but I mean, you mentioned so much. You mentioned so much, and I think a very key aspect, one that I could really relate to, is about looking at other people's work and feeling like I can't possibly do this with what I have. You know, I can't possibly match up to the content that this person's making with what I have. And then you look at it, and this person's 15 years into their creative journey, 15 years into their business, and you can't possibly compare the two. I'm 2 weeks in, 3 months in, and I'm trying to compare myself with someone who's 10 years, 5 years into their journey. So I like what you said. I think you mentioned it when we sat down the first time, and you were like, I used my phone, and I was surprised at the results I was getting with what I had. And I think that's a huge key point in learning anything, any aspect about life, really. It's, if you just stop for a second, breathe, and realize what you have, and try and utilize that to the best of your abilities, you'll be surprised how far that can take you into the future. And I think when you really think about it, it's a few cases of people who inherit tons of money and they just go straight into what they love. A lot of people definitely do stuff from the bottom. We don't see it. They don't really do publicize it. But everybody starts somewhere. And I think your mentality with that is something I struggled setting up the YouTube channel. And again, it's this concept of social media and having everyone around you seem like they're living their best life.
Yes. Social media
like,
can lie to you. You need to selectively pick the people that you surround yourself with social media. If you constantly see that your feed is like negative, highly negative, you need to start subtracting those factors from your life because they really do affect you, you know. I got to a point in time where I enjoyed seeing more food than faces on my Instagram. That makes sense.
Okay.
Because at least the food would inspire me to create. People living their life would just put pressure. I don't like pressure.
Yeah.
I really do not like pressure at all.
And
so,
it's almost subconscious. We don't realize we're feeling what we're feeling. But we're
that's true.
Really driven by how other people's lives look.
That's very
not in
true.
real life, but on social media.
That is very true.
Which is dangerous. And for me, it really did affect my creativity. So I had a YouTube channel for about a year before I actually went on to make content because I was like, there's no way I can make the content that so-and-so is making with what I have. And I'm like, but you're not in the same space. You're not in the same journey.
Like
focus on
resources,
what you have and take it one step at a time.
finances. Because
don't
want to lie to each other. Money talks. Eh?
Yeah.
Money.
It does. It really does.
Money
and I think you mentioned it as well when you were like, I realized that I was earning so much amount of money and I could start a business with it. For me, for a long time, I went on and I was like, I feel like I don't have the right gear. But at the same time, I was in a space where I was like, I don't want to spend my money on anything. But you need to spend money to make money, I guess. You need to invest in the things that you need to invest in order that you reap the results that you want. And I think one of the biggest things that we could ever invest is money and time. Like time, or I think if you're not putting the time into if you're not putting the time into these things, learning how to cook, learning how to spice your wings and investing money into the right spices as well, like
exactly.
Come on, you're not gonna get what you're looking for.
And also experimenting, hey, because it takes a lot, hey, to bring out the best product. You have to see, okay, fine, does Reiko work? Okay, fine, does Noah work? Look at your flower. Okay, fine. Is Gloria working for me? Is, different brands.
I think the concept of experimenting also brings in an aspect of actually finding yourself. Because if I'm jumping onto the scene and I'm just doing what everyone's doing, then my work is going to be very generic. If everybody's spicing their stuff with the Robertson spices, and then it's like, but I've tasted this before. But if you're trying new things, people are going to be like, what is in this chicken? And you're like, chocolate. Like, what the heck? Why would you put chocolate in your chicken? It tastes so good. But that's the thing. It's wild. A wild example. But I'm just saying, I've seen some of your recipes. I remember doing my project last year on your business. And I was looking at some of the recipes that you have. I was like, why would she do that? Why would she mix these two things together? But it seemed like it was working. It seemed like there was a demand for it. And I loved that. It's something that you're like, you can't get it anywhere else except from the Sizzle.
Yes. And that was the biggest thing. Because, I won't lie to you, I got some inspiration from international businesses that also do things like that. But most of the things that I came up with, I said, you know what, I'm going to start a business and I can't start a business with vanilla donuts. Everyone has had a vanilla donut. Spa, manita nazo. Spa is got a vanilla donut. Those ones slap, you know what I mean? So, okay, how can I make a donut that slaps, but that's also known for it being original? So that was one of the biggest things when I started my business. I was like, okay, fine, Fazilla. You want to make cinnamon rolls. What are you going to offer in terms of flavors? I was like, okay, fine, let's throw an Oreo in there. It tasted good. I was like, okay, let's go. threw in raspberries in there. It tasted
I
good.
was
And
like, what is she doing? I saw these recipes. I'm like, I need to taste this.
I threw in blueberries in there. I was
Wow.
like, this slaps. So now I can't even have like an ordinary cinnamon roll without wanting blueberries in it, because that was my favorite flavor, my utmost favorite flavor in it. So I was like, okay, fine, let's offer something different. Because Zimbabweans, there's a whole lot of hesitance. That's the word, right? Hesitance. Yeah.
Hesitance.
Hesitation.
Hesitation.
Yeah.
Hesitating.
Yeah.
Hesitators.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of fear. Okay, yeah, let's use fear, because I don't want to say the wrong word. Everyone's just like, hey, this girl. There's a lot of fear. Bioscience. Imagine. Anyway. So there's this general fear in Zimbabwe of I would describe it as Zimbabweans love to be comfortable. So it's about pushing boundaries. Zimbabweans love to be comfortable. So it's kind of like I was there to not provoke, but provoke a sense of curiosity in people. That's the only way that I'll get people to order, is that they're curious. They want to find out, okay, fine, what does blueberry do to a cinnamon roll? Or what does lemon pepper in a chicken wing taste like? So I found out that, a lot of that, I wanted to provoke a sort of curiosity basically amongst my audience, amongst my clientele. And yeah, it was quite difficult to tell somebody or convince somebody like, oh no, try this, because people like playing it safe. I'm like, okay, fine, can I have a cream donut? Because that's what Zimbabwe's like. I can have a cream donut. I'm like, you know what? Just try this, try that. And you found that people actually like the innovative ideas a lot. We had more orders for like the crazy ideas. So like the Ferrero Rochers, the brownie ideas, all of that. So it really took a lot of convincing to convince the market that, I'm bringing something new and this is something that you have to have. That's something that you need, So yeah.
That's the thing now. It's convincing people to take that risk. You've taken the risk now. You've made the product. It's there. It's out there in the world. And now you have to market it in a way that's selling. It's like, make people taste this thing before they even taste it. And I don't think a lot of us, and I think I'm culprit to that, is the aspect of the creativity is there and it's full throttle, right? Like, you're such a creative person, you can deliver the product, but you're unable to get it to the people. And I think I've already mentioned, and I totally admire your business aspect, your innovation aspect. The way you take your product to markets is absolutely insane. And you mentioned so many things like using the social media that's at your resources. I've struggled with that so much, just to market myself and get myself out there. And for you, what has been like the key defining thing that has been able to shape you and turn you into not just the creative person that you are, but the businesswoman that you are as well?
I guess it's the power of your product. That's definitely something that has shaped me as a businesswoman. Never underestimate the power that your product holds. Even your signage, when you put your signage on each and every picture, it's very important for you to be able to present yourself in a way that the way you present yourself will convince people. I know, for example, you're a photographer, so any signage that you put at the bottom corner, if somebody sees that these photos are crisp, they're taken well with good lighting, they're gonna be like, I want Luca to do my next photo shoot, And obviously, Luca can really take those photos, guys. Maybe you're looking at a recipe book coming soon.
Let's go, a collaboration, please. I was actually going to ask about that, hey? I was going to ask, should we expect some form of a recipe book or a magazine or something?
It's definitely in the head. Don't worry.
I'm keen. I'm so
keen. But yeah, back to the question about what has shaped you as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur. It's the power of the product. That's the greatest answer I could ever give. Your product speaks a lot. And it really just gives a lot of perspective as to who you are as a business. If you present a poorly plated product, or if you present a poorly something that doesn't look as inviting, then obviously it reflects you as a business, it reflects you as a businesswoman. So your product really does speak a lot. So you find that you have to, there's certain things that you can't compromise on. You can't compromise on not putting a sticker on a box. You can't compromise on not greeting your customers with a smile on your face. You can't do that. Because I can tell you the number of times I've received customers from just putting my sticker on my box. It's absolutely insane because they taste it and they're like, no, where did you get this from? And then the person says, oh, just check on the box, her number's there, you see? So there are these certain things that you don't, you see. So there's certain things that you don't compromise on. Don't compromise on quality. Do not, I always push this agenda, do not compromise on quality of service, quality of product. The biggest things, and those are things that drive me as a businesswoman and shape who I am, is that I want to produce something in order to receive a positive reaction. So yeah, I hope I answered the question correctly.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely answered the question. I mean, you mentioned don't compromise. It's huge. Like taking shortcuts as human beings is one of our biggest downfalls. We want the simplest and the quickest way out of things.
That's true.
And things like not putting a sticker onto your product.
It's
cheaper, first of all, not to have to pay for that. But it's just so much easier and so much faster to do. The admin of ordering stickers, the admin of designing stickers. People don't want to go through that. So they compromise and they're like, you know what? It's going to do its own thing. But like you're saying, quality, it's just like any other box out there, you know. And it doesn't differentiate you from the next person. It doesn't differentiate you from anything, actually. So that's a huge point. And I think that's one that will definitely have to stick with me moving forward. And I know you've also got merch that you wear, I think, when you're delivering your food and stuff like that.
Yes.
Which is like, so it's like the sizzle is in everybody's faces.
Yes.
Like you don't have a choice.
As I walk into the supermarket doing my shopping, the sizzle is on my chest. It's on my heart. It's everywhere, you know. So that's huge. You have to wear your brand. You have to wear your brand with pride. I have friends that have a clothing business. You know, I have a friend that has a clothing business, actually, Me Design. She will always plug herself. Every post she puts, she plugs herself. Shameless plug. And I love that for her. I also have another friend, Chantal Jarani. Actually, I'm wearing the top today. She will always wear her merchandise. She will always wear her brand. She's releasing winter collections. She will always wear her stuff because she knows the power of just presenting herself as the final product. So it's very important, even the way you present yourself as you're delivering orders. It may be a rough day, but look like you've bathed. You know, look like the food has been made in the most hygienic way possible. You need to present yourself in a way that people are convinced. You know? So yeah.
It's big. And I think a lot of people are like, I don't care what people think about me. Oh, bro, when you're running a business though. How people see you definitely affects how they react or don't react to your business. Like,
that's true.
Let's not even cap when it comes to how presentable your brand is, but how presentable you are as an owner of a business.
That's true. Even like, you know how we started this interview, you're like, damn girl, you really came through. I was like, you know what? You have to present yourself in a way that people want to order from you. You need to look like a smart girl. You need to present yourself in a way that would convince people. You know, I can't come here having dandruff sticking out of my hair and expect to deliver my next box to you. People will just be like, there's no way she's touching my food. So it's something as sensitive as food. My product is highly sensitive. So a lot could definitely affect it.
You know, you've spoken about so much. You've spoken about how you want your brand to be seen and how you want it to grow and the big dreams that you have. And I mean, about big dreams. Someone was like to me, if your dreams aren't scary enough, then they're not big enough. So it's good that you get goosebumps at the thought of having your own cows and your own farms. And I think they say something like, if you shoot for the stars or something, you might miss and hit the moon. Something like that.
Yeah. Basically, if you dream big, you might get something even bigger.
Exactly. So it's we're lying to these people. I mean, no. But it's something like that.
And you were lying to these people.
But I think the concept is basically like if you shoot for something that's like 100 meters away and you don't get that far, you might get 95 meters away, which is like huge still, you know what I mean? So go for as far as you can, dream as big as you can, and I encourage you to keep dreaming and continue to voice your dreams as well. Putting things down on paper, speaking about things helps a lot. It helps so much to keep you accountable, to hold yourself accountable for these things, and not just have them be words that you spit out. Share them with people as well, because 10 years from now, I'm going to come and I'm going to be like, yo, Carol.
The cows.
How far that cow? Where's those cows?
Where are the cows, Carol?
Where are the cows? You know, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you grow and to be the businesswoman and the creative person that you are. I mean, it's astonishing to see where you are now and how old you are. And the world is definitely your oyster. But in your journey so far, what has been the toughest thing? Running a business, being a creative person, what has been the toughest thing that you've had to do, and how have you dealt with that?
I think mental health as a creative is very important. Mental health has really been able to like shape how I feel about things at times. Because coming from, having like this shift, I'm now creative now. I'm no longer a businesswoman as per se. In terms when it comes to the sizzle, I'm no longer a businesswoman. So I'm now a creative. So there are times where you just feel like, I'm living on a student budget, and you see the meals that others create, and you're like, okay, fine, but beef is $10. I do not have $10 to spend on beef, because that $10 could have bought like 10 packets of noodles and a little young tuna, something. So the students struggle. Exactly. So you see, I think mental health really hits you hard as a creative. It's very difficult to, bring yourself to a point in time where you believe in yourself, and constantly you have to reaffirm yourself and tell yourself that, you started this, you have to finish it. The strongest way you can, the strongest way possible. And it's that aspect of mental health and that whole aspect of comparison. And, it's just good to stay out of a space that makes you feel little. Don't ever stay in a space that makes you feel smaller. Always aim to, not be large in a room, but always aim to be in a space that makes you want to grow. So yeah, like a plant, you have to stay in a space that has all the necessary resources for you to grow. Don't stay in a room with dim light and expect to grow. Because there's no way it's possible. The plant won't grow. So I guess it's just also the fact that surrounding yourself with positive energy is also something that, has been my biggest struggle. Because once you start a business, you begin to see that not everybody wants you to grow. It's the craziest thing ever.
That is so huge.
It's so crazy, Shabari. I'm just like, damn, do y'all really not want to see me grow like that? Like, it's absolutely crazy. Because I'm one of those friends where if you're my friend, I will write for your business. If I can't support you financially, I guarantee I will repost your stuff, because I understand how much it means. So that's, I think, one of the biggest hurdle as well, coming to terms with losing certain people in order for your business or you as a person to grow.
For just self-growth.
Exactly. That's
individual
so true. Because also, in as much as you have a business, you need to also remember that you as yourself are a separate entity that also needs to be catered for. And as much as we put so much effort into our work, we also need to understand that, okay, Fazilla, it's time. It's okay for you to go to the spa. It's okay for you to do your nails little small. Small things that make you happy. It's okay to go take yourself out for lunch. Go take yourself out for dinner. Certain things will seem like they're quite big, but they're actually things that make you happy. So it's also good just to surround yourself with good people, in that aspect. But yeah, I think the biggest hurdle for me was mental health. It definitely has to be mental health. And also the aspect of losing people in order for you to, once you get to the top, you've lost a lot of people. You know what I mean. I'm not saying that I'm at the top, but once you're going to the top.
She's at the top.
Hey,
you just said it. Carol just said it on the show.
No.
Carol just said it on the show.
No,
she's at the top.
No. That's
you had it first, guys.
No.
You heard it first.
Please,
yeah.
Please. I beg.
She's at the top.
No. I'm not saying I'm at the top.
We only have,
but I'm saying when you want.
That's what we do. We do it big here.
Of course. But I'm saying like the journey to wanting to be as successful as you want to be, it's you lose a lot of people, family members. You don't realize how much family can also have an impact on your business growth. So there are lots of people that are basically waiting for your downfall. And that's also something that actually leads to mental health, because you know that there are people waiting for you to fall hard. So it's always like you constantly need to actually keep working, keep at it, so that you can prove
You need to be
yourself.
tough. There's people who want to see you fall. People you know and people you don't even know. It's
that's
like,
true.
And but you
want to see yourself. But you're
like,
so
but
mean. How exactly? Exactly.
But why?
I couldn't have said it any better. So yeah, those are the challenges you face as an entrepreneur, and you find that the journey is very lonely. But luckily for me, I've had like a supportive family. I don't want to lie to you. My family has been my rock.
We appreciate them for it.
My mom and my dad. This other time I didn't have pasta. My father drove. He drove all the way, and he's like, my daughter needs to meet this order. He drove for that pasta. My mom used to help me out with dishes. My sister always used to be encouraging me out there. You know, all the way from Thailand, you'd be hearing her clap hands for me, say, dude, you're doing so well. So that's something that, has kept me going. The challenges are there, but I found a way to, make things a lot lighter for myself around with people. And also for myself, I've had to, have that mentality of being strong, because I'm a last born. So in as much as I'm strong, you're quite used to that.
Baby Carol. I play too much.
You play too much. Man. You know what I mean? So having been the last born, firstborns always have that element of, I don't know what they have in them. So it's having to teach yourself also to, be strong. Because last borns cry babies. It's in our DNA. You know what I mean? It's in our DNA.
Ooh, so I didn't say it. I did not say it.
It's in our DNA. I said it. I'm a last born. I think I'm allowed. But yeah, you find that there's certain things that you say, okay, fine, you have to do it. 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 So yeah, those are the hurdles that I experienced and how I overcame them. I answered more than I was supposed to.
No. I love it. I love it when people talk. I love it when we get in depth, and I think that's kind of the premise that the show is kind of built on. It's to see what these creative people are built with, what makes them tick. And I love how you get in depth, and I appreciate as well your vulnerability, because it's very easy to give generic answers and be like, yada. But you really get into it and you really get vulnerable, and I appreciate that. But I think one of the biggest things there that I can definitely pick out is the ability to have a strong supporting system. Oh, that is so huge. And I think it's all encompassing, and the umbrella term for it is so huge, because it talks about people living your life and people joining your life and people staying with you through the tough, the thick and thin, and things like that. And then you get people who leave and want to come back when things are looking pretty nice. You know what I mean? So it takes a toll on you emotionally and mentally, having people bounce back and forth in your life that way and chuck certain comments towards your work, or not show any kind of remorse or respect or love or appreciation where you thought you expected to get appreciation and love and respect and the support system. So having your family there with you, seeing you through it all, is such a beautiful thing. And I'm grateful that you cherish it. And for those that do have people in their lives that view them that way and appreciate them that way and support them that way, you'll take that to heart and cherish it, because there's a lot of people who want that but don't have it. They just don't have it. They're literally lone rangers in this creative space. And I think I would love to build a community, an environment where for those that don't have, they can find it in other creatives. We really, really don't have anyone else but each other. So for those who have outside the creative space, people who are pushing them, sometimes we don't even understand what's going on. And over me, my parents, my family, and my friends, some of them don't understand a single thing about photography, but they're constantly pushing the works. And I'm like, you can't buy that.
You know, it's one of
You
those.
really can't.
You're taking pictures.
You can't buy that. You
True.
can't, convince people to support you in that way. That's just raw, genuine love. And we appreciate your family for that. We appreciate everybody who's supporting any kind of creative, any kind of entrepreneur, without a single faced idea of what's going on, still supporting them.
Every entrepreneur, every friend needs that support, needs that reassurance, because they are facing really big battles. And it's nice to, wake up one day and somebody just says that, you've helped me, you've helped me achieve what I want to achieve. And it also motivates them. So if you have a friend that's an entrepreneur, give them a hug. Give them a hug. Give them some words of wisdom. When they post their work, you must say yes with so many S's.
Give them a $1 million loan that they don't have to pay back. Do that for them.
Give them a money. They need a money.
They need a money.
They need a money. Do you have money? Give them a money.
They need it, please. They need it.
True.
But you've gone through so much, and you've experienced quite a lot in such a short space of time. I think ultimately we have to give thanks and honor to God for that. Everything we've experienced, everything we've learned, it's because of Him. The good and the bad is as well because of Him. And like I said before, can't wait to see you grow and do more. But you mentioned that you've now sort of shifted into more of a creative space now, and sort of entrepreneurship side of it is on hold, focusing more on blogging and, making the recipes and taking photos of it and, chatting up about that. But obviously you are in school and that's got demands of its own. You are very young and a social person who wants to have fun times with friends. So the question now is balancing everything and making sure you give everything the attention it deserves. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the content, when the budget allows to do that and to do it to the best of your ability, but not neglect, schoolwork, not neglect time with family and friends as well, not neglect time with God. Big one, that. So how have you found the balance? And I know I've asked this question to a lot of people and everybody's like, there is no balance. You kind of just figure it out as you go. But what's sort of your routine? What have you tried to do, I guess, to try and find that balance?
Okay. I think what's important is, I think the lovely part of me being a creator with food, I have to eat at the end of the day. So
your work is in your life. It's in
my
your
work
survival.
is in my life. That's the greatest part about it. So it's not like I have to paint, because at painting you actually have to dedicate to be like, okay, fine, I need to sit down, I need to paint.
So I have to eat, bro.
I have to eat, bruv. So literally, it just depends on, okay, fine, am I in the mood to be creative with what I have? So when it comes to finding a balance, I always say that, do what has to be done. You need to rank your things in order of priority. If I always say that, so this semester I've been trying to hand in my assignments, not on the due date, but at least 2 days before, so as to give myself time to clear head and go ahead for the next one. So I've definitely been on a give things priority. If you know that you've got an assignment due on Saturday and you are planning to get drunk on a Friday, it's not going to happen. It's not supposed to happen. Actually, not at all. So rank things in order of priority. Rather, you drink on that Saturday night that you're done with your assignment and go crazy that Saturday night than you drinking before because all your friends are drinking. So always just be very stern with yourself and understand what you expect from yourself and where you want to go. So put your priorities straight. There's no balance because my life has been up and down. Like I said, literally, like I've been trying to adjust. Things change. There's no way I can tell you that I'm 9 to 5. I am on school. I'm sitting on my table. Next minute, I'll tell you that, okay, 5 to 8, I'm eating. I can't give you a set routine. But all I just say is wake up in the morning and say, what do I have to do today? What do I have to do? Attend my lectures. Top priority. Attend my lectures, read my Bible. I need to pray. I need to, prayer happens in many ways. Even the way you carry yourself could be a form of prayer. Even the way you singing could be a form of prayer. So at least maybe, let's say, if you're cleaning around the house, play some worship songs. These are certain things that you can integrate. You know what I mean? You can integrate your social life with also another aspect of you wanting to get away. So I could even be like to my friends, okay, fine, let's go for a hike. I'm getting to spend time with my friends, but I'm also getting in that fitness. I'm also getting in that, element of sightseeing, that adventure side within me. So also find ways to integrate your free time in order to cater for all the aspects that make you you. So when it comes to balance, I would say integration and also just priorities. Just prioritize what you have to do.
I dig it. I dig it.
Don't have your lecturers on your throat asking you when the assignment is due. Just hand in whatever you have to hand in at that time. And I'm sure things will align, to be honest.
Trying to turn a 3-year degree program into a 6-year one because you couldn't prioritize. Don't do that, guys.
Sham. And it's real, hey? It happens. It happens.
It's tough. But I appreciate it. I appreciate sharing, you being able to share your perspectives and share your thoughts with us here today. It's really been an honor. Prioritizing and integrating. Huge stuff. If you're going to take note of that. And I hope the people tuning in as well can take note of that. But that's literally all I have for us today. I don't want to take too much of your time as well or make this video too long.
This was fun.
This was so fun. This was so dope.
Yeah, this was fun.
This was so dope. A lot was said in this episode. We do know now that Fazilla is at the top. I think everybody should just be clear about that. That was said in this episode.
Please,
that Carol is
at
the top. It's lit. It's lit, guys. We also heard that lost borns are absolute crybabies. A lot of information. I mean, we got more than we asked for, honestly, and we are proud and we're happy. We also heard that I've got exclusive rights to take photos for her recipe book. So tough luck to all you other photographers out there.
Job is taken.
Locked out. Yeah, this is taken. This job is taken. I'm kidding. I'm playing. But it's been super awesome hanging out. It's been super awesome chatting to you as well. I think you've got a really, really bright mind. Wish could have recorded longer, but I think we can definitely stay in touch. I can definitely pick your brain some more, and I think I've got so much I can learn from you, creatively, entrepreneurially speaking.
Yeah,
and, just general life things as well. So again, we appreciate you pulling through to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the platform you've given. I appreciate also how you approach things. I definitely would like to thank you. Thank you for choosing me as well. You could have chosen anybody, but literally you saw the vision, you saw what I was presenting through, and thank you for that. I really do appreciate it, and thank you for this platform. May your YouTube grow to 100K subscribers by the end of the year. Let's go. Hey, let's go.
You heard it again here, guys. You heard it first. If my channel is not at 100K by next week, it's because by next year, someone's done something. Because Fazilla said, everything Fazilla says, guys, even Carol says, she said by next year we're at 100K. So
100K, we have to, because you're putting in the work.
Now we love it.
Like, you're putting in the work.
Thank you so much.
And it'll work out. Like J. Cole said, hey, did you see that? I was so slick.
I see what you did there. Anyway. Okay.
So, yeah, thank you so much for the platform. I hope everybody has learned something from this. I really I'm so free to share any information I have. Even like if you want to talk like deep finances when it comes to the business, I don't want to hide anything in terms of those things. You know, if you want to talk to me, just DM me. I'm pretty sure my Instagram will be in the description below. Just DM me. We can talk about things. You know, if you're facing difficulties, we can chat. We can have a one-to-one. You know, I'm more than happy to help people. I always feel like it's easier when you've got somebody to consult, and I'd be so happy to be somebody that you can consult in terms of ways to, you know, help and all of that. But thank you so much to the boy Luca, Megapicsouls on it. Thank you so
are
much.
most welcome. It's been a vibe. It's definitely been a vibe.
Obviously.